Wait, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we
doing?
Who are you people?
We're live for Bump That episode 12.
Bump that. Bump that. Bump that.
Is it episode 12? Oh my gosh.
12 weeks now we have been regularly doing this. Are you guys bored yet?
Nah, man, that's 12 weeks of straight
dessert. That's like $1 an hour.
Is everybody still good with this? We still are like, yeah, podcast, that's cool, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how's everybody doing?
I've had my doubts, but I'm still in.
Yeah, well,
I guess I can hang with you guys every week. I don't know.
No, every
Gee,
week.
thanks.
Wow. Well, episode 12. I am currently sick at the moment. I got, the sniffles, not the Rona, don't cancel me. No Rona here. Just, the weather has been fluctuating up and down with hot weather, cold weather, rain, cold, just been awful here. So, I'm sick. Brian, how's that Minnesotan weather treating you?
Man, ain't nothing, man. While the rest of the country is struggling with, 20 degrees, here in the cold north, we are at 0, and we're like, ain't no thing, witch.
Yeah, poor Texas doesn't know how to handle themselves right now. Snow, frozen water. Whoa!
And everybody teases Georgia about, a snowflake. We have to close down the roads because we don't know what to do. Yeah, suck that, Texas.
Yeah, I'd be like, we live in the hills, my friend. Okay, mountains. You want me to drive off a cliff?
Yeah.
No, I have a lot of friends that still live in Louisiana, and I've been looking up their feed. They haven't had school all week,
wow.
which is nuts. Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Or they're even telling them, don't use water. Don't turn on your water because it's going to mess up your pipes. And
apparently their infrastructure just doesn't know what to do.
You know what stinks now is that since I've been having to teach online, it's like I don't get snow days anymore. It's just, just teach online. You'll be fine.
Digital learning days.
No. I donated plasma today, so if I sound a little loopy, it's because I am. That was...
Go eat a cookie.
Dessert is coming up. I'm excited for today's dessert.
So apparently we're all broken today. I don't know what Brian's broken, but Katie and I are broken.
Gone.
My soul is broken. There's no fixing that, so...
All right.
Ooh, that got dark.
Yes. Anyways, we got some news for you guys. There's a lot of news. We're going to talk about Nintendo news next week since there is a big drop about that. But some news that hit the wire this past week. Netflix is going to be adapting a series of fantasy books that I used to read as a kid and as a young man that I love. The Redwall books by Brian Jacques. Did you guys ever catch in any of those?
I read the first, but it was so long ago, I don't remember what happens. I know it's about a mouse, and he has a sword.
Yeah, so pretty much it is a very animal-esque Lord of the Rings kind of story with lots of armies of mice, rats, any kind of little rodents, creatures living in the forest and doing battles.
Aww.
I love the books. They're really great for kids. So Netflix is going to be adapting them into a TV show and a movie. So if you're a fan of the Redwall books, I think they'll do a good treat. There was a show. They did have a show on it on PBS back in the day, but it was up to PBS standards, and that was not great. So hopefully Netflix, with their bundles of cash, can just chuck it at this thing and make it a really good show. So,
hey man, PBS, don't knock PBS, man. We were just...
I'm not knocking PBS, but it was PBS money, so it was
from
very
viewers
stilted
like you.
Thank
animation.
you.
Viewers, thank you.
Yeah.
Next
news, Tails has been confirmed for Sonic 2. We saw the title for Sonic 2. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but in that you get a kind of a glimpse of Tails for the number 2, two little fox tails. So I'm excited because I love Tails. Tails is neat.
Tails was my favorite growing up.
I want Knuckles and Shadow. Just the edgy. I want there to be like an edge lord.
You would
version.
be that person.
Yeah. Just the edgiest of the Sonic movies. I want that to be like a spoof that actually happens after this one. But that's beside the point. I'm looking forward to it. I still haven't seen the first one, but I hear it's really good.
Check it out, man.
I know, it's on my to-do list.
Next, other news. For you, those of you guys with the HBO Max, the HBO Go, The Last of Us TV show, based off of the hit PlayStation video game series, that's going to be making its way to HBO. And some big casting news from that. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian himself, is going to be starring as Joel in that title role. And if you're a big Game of Thrones fan too, the role of Ellie, the girl that Joel has to take through the apocalyptic wasteland, that's Bella Ramsey. She was in the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. I think it's personally really solid casting. I'm not sure how I feel about Pascal as Joel, but what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, go Pascal.
He kind of, I was sort of tilting my head, and I said, "Yeah, this could work." You know, just throw some
he
dirt
looks
on it,
more
it'd be fine.
to me like a Nathan Drake kind of character.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
Pascal, he's just too suave, you know what I mean? Just a little too
Like
smooth.
too Zorro.
Yeah.
To me, Joel.
And Joel is definitely more of a, hey, my name is Joel kind of guy. You know,
Yeah.
just a more Southern, white American kind of dude. While Pascal, I love Pascal. If you've seen him in, if you saw him in Wonder Woman 1984, he steals the show. He's great. He's excellent in that movie. I love him in Mandalorian, Narcos. He's great. But yeah, I would have gone different, but we'll see. I'm excited to check it out. What do you guys? Are you guys gonna go see Last of Us?
I don't have HBO Max, so.
Well, we're all gonna have to get it sooner or later. It's just a matter of time.
You're so right on that. But if I did have HBO Max, I probably would watch it. I've never played the game, nor have I seen a gameplay of it, so I don't have really much to go off of.
Let me tell you, I made the mistake last March when the Rona was just going out, like just happening. I made the serious mistake of starting The Last of Us. And it was the scariest thing
so good
ever. It's a great game. It's a great game. But it freaked me out. You would think that I was playing like Resident Evil or something.
Oh gosh.
I haven't played the second one yet, and I'm looking forward to one of these days. Probably whenever I do get my hands on a PS5, I'll probably get Last of Us Part 2 and enjoy that. I'm hoping it's gonna be what The Walking Dead never ended up being.
Yeah.
You know, Walking Dead ended up being just this slog of just.
The story was so convoluted with like all the cast members, all the random characters, and like different spots.
That's a show that shot itself in the foot. Literally, it was at the beginning. It was great.
Are you talking about The Walking Dead or Lost?
Did I say Lost? I meant Walking Dead.
No,
she's making a joke.
Yeah, because Lost lost me.
I'm a big Lost guy, though. So.
You know who we will not see in the Last of Us movie? And this is a dig. It's a slight dig, but I really love this person, is Gina Carano.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Poor Gina.
I know.
Poor Gina.
I'm going to keep my opinion to myself. But I like her.
I think you just gave your opinion.
Yeah, I like her as a person. I don't know all the details of all that was said, so I can't say she was wrong or right, but let me tell you a funny story about it really quick. So I saw that Hasbro is not selling any of her action figures, and I saw that article maybe, I saw the article maybe like 17 minutes, some number like that, after it went out. So I went to Amazon, and sure enough, I typed in Cara Dune action figure. It was there, but it was not for sale. If you go to eBay, they are. I bid on an action figure. I think the highest I went was like $10. that sucker sold
No,
for like
no way.
$150, something crazy
Easily.
like that, easily. And I'm like, this just happened. But like I said, I like her. We're built the same way, MMA, you know. So yeah, but we're not.
That
gonna
is
see her.
insane.
We're not gonna see her on No Last of Us. That was Last of Her.
Oh.
Aw,
I actually had a
Gina.
friend cancel her Disney Plus subscription. People
Yeah.
are taking this seriously. They
Right.
are not happy about
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you know.
Well,
both sides are not happy about what happened,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that. It's best to leave it at
In
that.
some other news, Zack Snyder, Justice League,
Schneider.
HBO Max. Whoa!
So we're gonna have to get it. I told Joanna, like, next month we have to get HBO Max, as I want to see the full 4-hour cut of Justice League. I want to see it.
4 hours?
4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
4-hour movie.
Lord, that's like dang it, what's that? I think it was a Civil War movie. Gods and Generals.
Oh, there's a ton of movies that are 4 hours, but yeah, Gods and Generals, yeah.
That's long.
That was.
But I'm gonna
it's
see it.
long.
I mean, it's Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot. I'm all in.
Why do they need that movie for 4 hours though?
Henry Cavill. It's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Booyah.
Henry Cavill actually had a back injury and halted the Witcher series season 2 for a little bit.
Was that right?
Yeah, poor Henry Cavill. He got the back injury because I had just finished watching season 1 on Netflix, and I'm like, oh man, I actually like this show. Where season 2, he got a back injury, poor guy, and so it halted production, sadly.
He's solid, dude. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Really good actor.
Did you guys see the pictures of Joker? Zack Snyder's Joker, like with long
Jared
hair.
Leto.
He looked creepy. Like you go from weird punk rock Joker to that.
Oh, the
creepy.
Suicide Squad Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. That you just go from that to to friggin' that stuff of nightmares right there.
So that's probably what Jared Leto's Joker was supposed to be. The really creepy society. Ugh. And we got instead that hunka Joker.
Yeah.
Which was, oh god.
Gag me with
So
we'll talk more about that. We're gonna be talking about Marvel and DC later on. So we're gonna be doing a whole big spiel about that. But first, Dessert Corner with Katie.
Oh man, you guys have no
Ba-do-do-do.
idea. All right, so today I was admittedly in a rush. This was actually not the dessert I was thinking about doing today, but I was in a rush. I stopped by the Alpha Euro Grill that I've reviewed them before with their cannoli. Today I've got what is a hunka giant piece of Oreo cheesecake pie, I guess. I have no idea what this monstrosity is. It looks gorgeous, and it's the size of my entire hand. And it's got an Oreo crust. It's got a little Oreo whipped cream thing on top of it.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, it looks like it has just a chocolate coating on top. So let's dig into this sucker. Already very light and thick. Light and thick. Yeah, that works.
Thick!
I'm going to be thick after eating this. Not overly sweet, which I love. It's actually got... I can't really taste the Oreo as much, which is a little disappointing, but maybe it's because I got more of the top part than the crust. It's not crunchy. The crust is not crunchy. But it's still really, really good. I will admit, not one of my favorite desserts, but I could easily put that away still. Alpha Euro Grill with their Oreo cheesecake pie thing. Eat local.
Concoction thingy.
Yeah, massive dessert thing. Eat local.
That's right.
Yum. Delicious.
Who's next?
And
Who's on
next.
deck? Who's on deck?
this week, it's Ileana with Japanimation.
That would be me, Japanimation. I just finished watching a Netflix anime, or actually, I think it's just an anime, whatever. But I finished watching it on Netflix. It is called Cells at Work. Oh boy, if you love biology and stuff like that, you would love this show. It is the personification of, your cells, blood cells, white blood cells, red blood cells, and they are funny. The white blood or the red blood cells, are just doing their thing, moving oxygen throughout the body. Woohoo, we're being red blood cells. As soon as the body gets injured or whatever, an abrasion, and there's like bacteria and stuff coming in, a virus, white blood cells are bloodthirsty. They are going after these things and, killing them. It is a comical show. It's super funny, really cute. However, it is gory and bloody because, it has to do with the body and killing these Dragon Ball-esque looking viruses and bacterias. It is super funny. If you are into that kind of thing, go check it out. It actually is very educational, strangely enough.
Is it like Osmosis Jones, but with gore?
Yeah, and way better because who is the actor like the human actor in that movie? I can't remember his name.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. That is the reason why I cannot stand Bill Murray, because of that movie. He grosses me out. Osmosis Jones ruined Bill Murray. Just nasty.
When his zit pops, the zit, yeah.
Atrocious. I will never.
Or when he eats the egg out of the monkey's mouth.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
gross.
so gross.
That movie literally tarnished Bill Murray for me. I can't stand to look at that man. I watched like Groundhog Day a couple of years ago and I was like, I hate you. You're gross.
Somewhere in the world, Woody Harrelson is just like, what? Somebody's tarnishing Bill freaking Murray's name?
That's me for Japanimation. Cells at Work. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. Super funny. And now we're into Marvel and DC. Boo-doo-doo, the fight of the century.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to
The
digest.
fight. Who will win?
Where do we even start when it comes to Marvel and DC?
I mean,
let's start in the 30s. Just kidding. We don't have to do that.
No, I would say let's start with, who is a better franchise for movie making? Franchise for movie making.
I would say as of recently. Well, I can't even say as of recently.
Always?
No, okay, here's my opinion. And it's just my opinion.
KT's opinion.
We're gonna call this episode KT's opinion over nothing that matters. So Marvel has the better films. However, when it comes to focusing on directors, I would say, like, directors making a certain film, I would say that Batman edges out, like the Batman trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy, sort of edges out even the Avengers franchise. That's me. They were better quality. They had you more on your toes. You kind of had an idea. You know, a little bit of an inkling of what was going to happen in Avengers films. And every other movie is sort of cookie cutter. Yes, if bad guy wins, all that. But when it comes to DC and the those three films, it was just a little bit more dark, a little more edgy, a little bit more challenging, where things were not always certain. There was loss. There was always a challenge that just things might not end up okay. And so I think overall Marvel wins the movies, but they're edged out just by those three films.
Yeah, I would have to say the same. However, while Marvel is not my favorite franchise, DC is my favorite. Marvel managed to make the like best Spider-Man movie ever for animation. Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, they killed it
It's a
with
great
that
movie.
movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
any Avengers movie, kind of cookie cutter, all stamped the same, just like you said. But that movie alone single-handedly just, raised the bar for
Mm-hmm.
any company right now, because that was just artistic storytelling at its best, and with like a really cool character anyways. Miles Morales is awesome. Um and DC hasn't really pumped out anything like really cool lately. So, we always go back to the Dark Knight movies, franchise series, but like what else they got? That's like it.
That's where I come in. So for me, how it works is from Marvel, they obviously are one thing they have is coherency and longevity. From Iron Man from 2008 all the way to the most recent Spider-Man movie, Far From Home, they were able to put out a complete story. It's an arc. It's like it is the Bible of superhero stories. It's just one complete saga, and nobody has ever been able to do that like Marvel has.
Hmm.
But when it comes to having a pure superhero film, DC does it. They did it all the way back in 1978 with Superman. The very first Superman is still one of the greatest superhero films of all time. The original, the Batman 89, Tim Burton, still one of the best superhero films of all
Hmm.
time. Okay, the Dark Knight trilogy, it is the best trilogy. Iron Man's got a trilogy, Cap America's got a trilogy, Thor has a trilogy, Spider-Man has a trilogy. Nobody can handle Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
It is the creme de la creme. Wonder Woman is the best, still, I would say top 5 superhero movie of all time.
And
All
I
the
do
way
love
up
Wonder
there.
Woman. I feel so.
Okay.
I feel like a girly girl because I really love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And I just feel so empowered
Oh,
when I
absolutely.
watch that movie.
And
So
you really
yeah,
like Captain Marvel too. She was your other.
I do. Now I get teased a lot because Captain Marvel was such a Mary Sue. You know what? Leave me alone. Let me have this. I think she was really likable. It was a really actiony film. I loved all the '90s references. Um, Nick Fury was so great in that movie. I just like it. Okay, just leave me alone. Let me have this.
So yeah, so well, I say that Marvel, they got the engine to crank out. You know, this is they're going to be moving into Phase 4 for cinema. They're going to still make quality films,
Every
while not
movie's a
always.
blockbuster with them.
Yeah,
So
Pretty
while
much,
they're
yeah.
not always original, they're still going to be quality blockbuster movies. But for every I think that at the end of the day, DC, they can they'll still go toe to toe with Marvel any day when it comes
Now,
to
I have a
movies.
question for you, Brian. Which movie do you think, production wise, is better? Logan or The Dark Knight?
Dark Knight, man.
Oh,
Dark Knight
I don't know.
is Chris Nolan at the top of his game with everything that they had, all the tools that he had to create something. But here's the thing, Dark Knight, I love Dark Knight, but I think Batman Begins is a better Batman movie.
oh, the first one
Dark
in the trilogy.
Yes, Dark Knight is only good as it is because of Heath Ledger.
You're
Literally.
right.
Yeah.
That is why Heath
Yeah.
Ledger makes that movie. 100%.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little biased. For those of you that don't know, and you don't know me, Wolverine is my guy. He is my. Everybody's like, oh, Captain America is my favorite superhero, or Superman is my favorite superhero.
You're going to bump that.
Yeah, bump that. Wolverine is my favorite, and if soon we're going to talk about comics. Don't get me started on comics. that's where he really shines. But I said too much. But I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So, I do. I guess what I'm saying is Logan. I think poor Logan gets overlooked so much. As well as the movie The Wolverine, not Wolverine Origins, not that dumpster fire of a movie, but The Wolverine, where it takes place in Japan. Um, that was such an excellent movie where it's just action, 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 but it's still like a gripping story where it's sort of leading into Logan starting to lose his powers and getting old and all that. So even with that, I don't know. I think overall Marvel has the best films.
Mm. It is a tight call just because DC has that trilogy, but I will have to give it to Marvel, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
All right.
man.
So enough movies. Let's talk TV. So TV encompasses a lot of things. We have live action and we have animation.
Animation by hands down, DC has it. Those
I will give it to
animated
DC.
TV shows, Justice League, Batman
Yeah.
series.
No,
Oh
that's
my freaking
it. That's
goodness!
all you gotta say is animated series, Batman. That's it.
Oh, it's
That's
so
at the end of the
good. If
day.
you've never seen those, please go watch them. They're too good.
Even Batman Beyond, man. Ugh, I can't even speak. Batman Beyond
No,
was
because
so
all the
freaking
DC
good.
animation, they wrote the book. They decided that we're gonna write the book on this thing. We're gonna make it. We're fans of this medium. We're fans of the comics. We're fans of these characters. We're gonna make
Yeah.
them come off the page, just like reading like a comic book, just live action animated right in front of you, where you're just in that world. So all the DC anime, every single thing is just exquisite. It's so good.
Yeah, they're
The voice acting, the animation, the idea to draw on black paper so that from the beginning something is just coming out of that darkness.
it's such a
brilliant.
contrast and such I don't know. It's really, really cool. And they're so old too. Like you have the old Spider-Man TV show and then you have the old Batman TV show. Batman's so much better, just saying.
But if you guys have ever seen Spectacular Spider, there's lots of different Spider-Man TV shows over the past 30 years. But if you ever got a chance to see it, this show was so underrated. It's a great one. It was one of the Disney Channel shows.
Disney XD.
But Spectacular Spider-Man, that's got to be it. Spectacular Spider-Man was one of the great versions of the Spider-Man franchise.
I don't think I ever saw that.
It did it
It was
justice.
really good.
I wish
It was really good.
I need to find it to buy it, to have it on DVD, because it used to stream on Netflix. That's where I first found it. But it is, especially if you love Into the Spider-Verse, Spectacular Spider-Man does character
I'll have
justice.
to check that out. But yeah, even the Justice League TV shows that I watched on Netflix, those are so good. Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited, just going into that whole thing.
I love them.
So good.
And what I think is that it also made TV show cartoons, quote unquote, dark for Western audiences, and it was okay. There were a ton of episodes of Justice League, Batman Beyond, a lot of things. The original X-Men, where they dealt with loss, with crazy hard challenges that they didn't always have a happy ending. There was one episode of, I think it was Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, where they were the villains that were it was the Royal Flush. And there's this
yeah.
There's this
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's this girl that has this psychopathic ability, and it drives her crazy, and she doesn't talk, and she's different from all the other people in
I
her
remember
gang.
this one.
And she's just sitting on a swing. I think it's in someone's cognition. She's sitting on a swing, and
Pretty
Batman
much,
basically,
she had created this world that was
I
affecting
remember.
reality. And so the Justice League have to go in there to stop her because she's affecting reality. But what they don't know is that she's actually dying. As she gets,
Yeah.
as more things get more wackier and crazier, in her head, her psychopathic abilities are actually killing her from the inside. And so there's nothing nobody can do. There's no cure at all. So Batman, you go ahead, Katie, and finish the story there.
So the scene is they're sitting on a swing set, and Batman sits on the swing next to her, and basically he says, you know, you can pretty much just die. You don't have to do any of this. You can just end it. And she doesn't. I don't think she says anything. And she
does talk.
Barely, and she
was just scared. She was scared of death. She was just afraid.
So imagine your little Timmy tantrum on Saturday morning. You're sitting there with your bowl of Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Puffs in the same bowl, and you're like, Timmy Tantrum is like, wow, this is cool. You know, like, it's Batman. And then all of a sudden, Batman is telling this little girl, basically, you can just go die. You don't have to do this. You don't have to suffer.
I don't think it was like, go die. I think
it wasn't like that, but it was basically like...
It was like, why are you prolonging your death, girl? Like, you're just suffering right now.
It was
because
alluding...
and the character's name is Ace, too.
Yes. And it was alluding to the fact, like, hey, you can just end your suffering. Like, you don't have to live like this.
And that's a very heavy topic for, like, you know, young kids to be watching. This is like a kids, teenagers, young adult type of TV show. And anybody can watch it, really. But, like, mostly it's animated, so, you know, kids are probably watching it. But to have such, like, a serious topic be in an animated TV show like that, I don't think that had really been done before. Not really.
And that's that sort of not that topic, but that sort of atmosphere was just what it sort of made that show a part of what it is, a part of what it was.
So here's kind of the synopsis of that, because I love that scene. While the Justice League battled the rest of the criminals, Amanda Waller revealed that Ace was dying due to an aneurysm, and a possible psychic backlash caused by her death would kill millions. So it's kind of crazy that Batman would be the one to be like, you know what? Her blood will be on my hands. Batman volunteers to kill her before that could happen and confronted her, but Ace knew he was not going to do so. After briefly explaining her backstory to him, she asked him to stay with him until she died. Batman accepts her request, and it ends with Batman sitting next to Ace on a swing set, and Batman himself, a kid whose whole psyche is damaged, ruined because of what happened to him as a child, and it ends with Batman taking Ace's body and carrying her away, and that was the last that Bruce, in this era, that Bruce Wayne would be Batman in this story. It's deep. There's so much to come back from that. It's not just a simple Batman saves the day. It's, you know, there's a lot more, you know, emotion and gravitas to that.
And I think that, you know, X-Men have tried to kind of do that similar thing before, but haven't quite gotten it right because, like, you know, they are mutated children and whatever, trying to be brought up and, you know, use superpowers and whatever, and so there's, like, some complications with that, but I don't think there's anything been quite like what Batman's been able to do and, like, talk about in the TV shows. It just hasn't, like, come across the same way, so
score one for DC, definitely.
Woohoo!
For the TV show.
Go DC!
Just that one episode, man. Just that one episode.
Killed it.
But there are so many other good ones.
Oh
like
yeah,
that, though.
oh yeah. If you ever have the chance to watch even just the Batman from, I think it came out in like 1991, something like that. Just go watch that series, and then you're gonna want to watch the rest of them because
Yeah,
they're so good.
exactly. But now we're gonna go into who has the best characters. This is a hard one.
Ooh, I'm gonna be
There's a
biased
ton,
and
yeah.
say I'm gonna be biased and say that Marvel does.
No way.
I'm on Brian's
Not
side.
even. No. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I just think of like guys like Hulk, Thor. Cool guys. I love those guys. I love those characters. I like Captain America. But at the end of the day, Superman, dude. Superman is just way
He's a
beyond
punk.
any of those guys.
He's a
Oh,
punk.
No
no,
He's
no,
way.
no.
How you
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
Superman a punk?
Superman is a punk.
Okay, this is what
No.
here's what I have to say. Marvel has very good characters. However, they are all surface level except for just a few of them. Now, with DC, they go into more depth with all of their characters. You have like what's her face? Hawk Girl. You have Superman, Batman, oh my gosh, what's his name? John Green
Johns,
Lantern.
the Martian Manhunter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, him. But no, I'm thinking Green
yeah, and
Lantern.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
John Stewart. Well,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
different
you
Green
can-
Lanterns too. There's
There's
a bunch
different
of them.
types of lanterns. There's
Yeah, they
Gold
all
Lantern,
go into
Blue
their
Lantern.
backstories in the Justice League animated TV show and so on, and they're so like much deeper than anything Marvel has to pull out, except for Iron Man, maybe.
And I'm looking at Katie, and I know she's trying to think she's got a trump card, but at the end of the day, who's got the better villains? DC. DC has the best villains, period. There is no Marvel villain that is anywhere
Hydra!
near.
Hydra! So
Maybe
cool.
Magneto, but... And there's a lot of good Spider-Man villains,
But
but
what about Thanos? Shut up,
Oh.
Timmy Tantrum. Nuh-uh.
Darkseid.
You have, like, Joker up against Thanos. I think we know who wins
Lex
here.
Luthor, Brainiac.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
ooh.
dude.
Art
Balls.
thou finished?
Cheetah. I could go on forever, baby.
Art thou finished? Okay, so I will agree that DC has the better villains, but can you name... In fact, I dare you to prove me wrong, to name more than 10 DC superheroes.
Got it. That can be done. We just talked about how much we love Justice League Unlimited, so we can go.
Me 10.
Okay, you ready for 10?
Oh,
you ready for 10?
man. Oh,
Give me
boy.
10.
Bing, bing.
Okay, all right. Martian Manhunter, Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, Superman, Superboy, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg. 10.
Of those
That's just
10, listen to me. Of those
Barry
10,
Allen.
Of those
the
10,
Flash. How many Flashes are there? There's Wally. Wally West.
Of those 10, like 3 of those were from Batgirl, Batboy.
But then, okay, you have, like, Green Lantern. You got Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl alone. Have you seen how cool she is and
she
anything
is
about
very
her
cool.
character?
She
Okay.
is very cool. But I would say that between the TV shows, the comic books especially, and the movies, video games, Marvel has the quintessential characters, main superhero
I disagree.
characters.
100%.
I'm going to throw my
100%.
trump card at you. Quality versus quantity.
They are quality. No.
Nuh-uh. You may have a bunch of characters here and there, but there is nothing compared to the quality of the characters in DC
However,
Comics.
Let me raise you further. So we were just talking about how much better the Marvel movies are compared to the majority of the DC movies. You can't get that unless you have a wealth of characters to contribute to that. as well as a wealth of villains in the process.
You can do that. DC has that too. They just haven't. It hasn't been done. They just haven't had
They're
time.
recycling, man.
They just haven't put them out yet.
They're recycling
Because they still have not put out that quantity. That's Marvel has the extended universe. They have that. They have the MCU. So we're able to talk about characters like, Black Widow. 15 years ago, nobody knew who Black Widow was. Nobody cared who Black Widow was. 15 years ago, people might have known who Zatanna was, though.
Ooh, Zatanna.
Somebody like that.
Nah. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, especially since there's
or Talia al Ghul. People would probably know who that was before Black Widow, or what's the it's the ant and the the Hornet, Ant-Man, and what's the other character's name? Wasp. Yes, nobody knew who Wasp was. You had. DC has Bumblebee, I don't know.
The Transformer?
No,
No, I'm kidding.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Because
Bumblebee!
Look out for Bumblebee.
Oh, man. Bumblebee is awesome. Wait. In DC, who's the alien girl with the pink hair that shoots green lasers? Who's that again? I can't.
Starfire?
Starfire, thank you.
Yeah, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, Cyborg,
See, now we're
and
going
Robin.
into Teen Titans, okay?
Okay,
that's
but they're
DC,
part of the
bro.
DC universe. Everybody not everybody, but most people forget that, like, Wolverine and all of the, what are those people called?
X-Men kids?
X-Men, that they're even Marvel. People forget about that all the time. It's like,
No,
what franchise do those guys belong to? We remember them, but who are they?
I will say this. There is a Marvel... I wish that they would never put out another movie. Marvel would never put out another movie about the... oh my gosh. The incredible... The
Fantastic Four?
The Fantastic Four. The Incredible Four. The Fantastic Four. I have not seen one quality Fantastic Four movie. And it just breaks my
Surface
heart.
level characters.
Well, not if they're done right, because Fantastic Four is a huge franchise in the comic book world. Everybody knows who the Fantastic Four are when it comes to comic books.
I don't know. I've read Fantastic Four comics, and I mean,
It doesn't mean that they're not popular. They wouldn't make movies if they're popular.
they're popular. I agree, but at the end of the day, I'd rather get more, depth through Spider-Man or somebody like that, or Captain America than Fantastic Four.
That's what I'm saying. I personally do not like Fantastic Four. I think it's just the whole
bump
thing.
Those guys.
Yeah, bump them.
The one other group that I'm glad that Marvel has that I actually do like, that I watched the movies, was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh
yeah, those are good.
They make it
good
fun,
movies.
Good, and those are characters that are like nobody knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Yeah,
I had no
movie.
idea. I had no idea who they were, and I love them now. They're up there for me, big time.
Yeah, so already right there with that franchise, it's not like Batboy, Batgirl, Robin. It's not like that. You have a diverse, and when I say diverse, you've got a tree, a raccoon, an alien, her cyborg sister, a human. Like you have
alien, a cyborg sister.
You have this wealth of diverse characters with their own story. With Batman and Robin, they share, like the original Batman and Robin, they share a similar story. That brings them together, which is fine, but it's like, okay, he's got a sidekick now. How great is that? Come on, now I do.
He was in the circus. Okay, he has a backstory.
the Bat Boys that come afterwards, they each have their own thing, and even I think Batman killed one. Who was it?
Oh, there's Tim Drake.
Yeah,
and,
Tim Drake. He actually
there's
got him.
there's that Damian. Damian is Batman's
Yeah,
son.
that's
That's
his
like
son.
the latest
So
Robin.
it's like. And it's not like I don't enjoy the DC characters. Don't get me wrong. I love them.
Here, for me,
I
at the
like
end of the
them
day,
better.
and this is where kind of comics and these kind of characters fail for me, is when these characters are resurrected over and over and over.
Yes.
That's when I check out, because I just stay dead. Just dead is dead.
The whole blip thing in what is the Avengers movie? They were like, what would have happened if they actually died with the blip and they didn't come back? Would that have been like cooler, better for the story, more interesting? But they can come back, woohoo, saved.
That's just kind of. I just don't like. Yeah, when you put it that way, it's like, I just hate.
It's a little cheap. It's like it cheapened what happened with the blip. I was actually watching this other show. I won't name it, but just in case somebody actually wants to go watch it. It's on Netflix, and there's a consequence of these people turning back into like what they originally were, animals. Like they were sentient, and then became like had the consequence of going back into like their animalistic ways, and nothing changed. There was no way they could, erase what happened to them. They stayed as an animal, and they were, they had friends, and they made friends and families and everything, but they had to live with the consequences of staying that way. And it made the show much more interesting. So I feel like, the Avengers movies would have been way more interesting if it was like, this is the consequence of like the blip, they don't come back. They're dead. They're gone. And that sucks, but it's like, it makes it more interesting. Makes it more.
Snap out of it. You're dead. Just stay dead.
I think that's a much more interesting story. Wouldn't you think so? Like, yeah, it sucks that your favorite character died, but.
I can see it now. Like, it's an Avengers crossover with the end of Logan, where Patrick Stewart, Professor X actually didn't die. And he's like, where am I? And Logan looks at him, he's like, what are you doing? No, stay dead. Get back dead. Or
oh my gosh.
Or if he did that to Phoenix, I can't remember her name. Like she just comes back to life and she's like, ha, I'm evil again. Kills everything. No. Anyway, I donated plasma today.
I'm currently sick. Well, we kind of already talked on like the comics. But
if you had to choose one, if somebody held a gun to your head and you could only consume content from one of the big two, which one would it be?
Choose it. DC for life, baby. Woo woo.
Yeah, DC.
It would have to be
straight
Marvel
up.
for me.
Wow. I can't believe you.
Wow.
How are we related? That's...
No, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just all that spandex and they just really exercise a lot. And I don't know.
Superman has enough spandex for all of us, so
Superman has enough stupidity for all of you.
How could you live in a world without Batman?
I know.
At the end of the day,
he's not the superhero that we need, but what is it? The line?
But the one you want?
Yeah.
He's not. Okay, no. Batman and Superman are both contradictions. They contradict themselves throughout their whole entire history. At least with everybody else, like on Marvel and even on DC, they're like, you know what? He gotta go. Even who was it? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's this joke about how Aang, it was like, oh, killing is wrong. And then Korra's like, die, witch! Or not Korra, it was,
Kyoshi?
Yeah, Kyoshi. Which is a shame because she killed like,
Cheng the Conqueror.
She killed Cheng the Conqueror, but she didn't even kill Cheng the Conqueror. But yeah, there's that joke that...
Frankly, I don't see a difference.
Yeah. And it's like, get off her butt, she had to... So that's what I'm saying about Batman and Superman. They contradicted, we need to uphold our morals. Frick your morals. You don't have what morals? What morals? You guys are supposed to be saving the world. Oh, we don't kill anyone. I don't know where that accent came from.
We don't kill anyone.
We don't kill
Shaking those
anybody.
Italian hands. We don't kill anyone here.
In Russia DC universe, we kill no one. You have no evidence.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Oh.
No,
Do we
but
want to talk about the other comic book companies, or I mean,
nah, forget those guys.
Hey,
Oh,
Dark
it's-
Horse is putting out good content. They're the ones that, if I know right, they are the ones that are. They put out. Oh my god, they put out Avatar.
Dark Horse Comics does Star Wars and Avatar.
Yeah. And who was it Dark Horse or was it DC that put out oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on this. Watchmen. Who did Watchmen?
That's DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say
Got him.
that is okay, where are they? They just got their own TV show just now. That's actually a graphic novel, not graphic novel. Man, that is an underrated one. The movie was, to me, I thought it was great.
I think the movie is one of the
"Oh,
greatest
okay."
movies of all time. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's an A+.
I loved it. I loved it. That book is awesome. It's crazy. It's different. It's dark and it's gritty. And yet it's sort of swept under the rug. I know it just got a show, but just now, like decades later, like come on, man. That's all I have to say. I'm starting to lose my voice.
So basically, we've come to the conclusion that DC is the better company.
You can say that, but I'll choose to. And I love DC. But
It's
I
still
will
up for
choose-
debate. I mean,
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a
love
war
DC,
forever.
and I love Marvel. At the end of the day, I love both companies. You know,
Yeah.
the stories
You
that they're
can't-
creating, I'm gonna be an 80-year-old man one day, still enjoying these stories.
And you
Absolutely.
can't compete with Stan Lee. Like, you don't have anybody in the DC world that is. Stan
No,
Lee.
you are 100% correct. There,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right.
The one thing she's
R-
been
rest
correct
in
about
peace.
tonight. Nah, I'm joking. I would suggest for people who are listening to leave a comment on down below of who you think is the better company, DC or Marvel. Who are your favorite
Who are they-
characters?
Who are they gonna put as the big cameo in all the Marvel movies now?
Now they're just
Moving
gonna make like a
forward?
little CGI version of him, kind of like
No.
how they've been
No,
doing.
they can't do that.
I
no.
would.
I know they
actually,
wouldn't, but
I would actually hope that it would be Jack Human.
Jack Human.
Jack
What
Human.
for? It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it's
'Cause he is dead.
kind of
He
bums
is
me
dead.
out.
Who knows? Who knows? Who do you think will replace Stan Lee? Anybody? Will it be Paul Rudd? Wouldn't that be weird?
Paul Rudd. Is,
Paul
Wait,
Rudd is Ant-Man. That wouldn't make any sense. That's the
just-
thing.
he just-
Stan
Okay,
Lee was
does
just a
Paul
random
Rudd ever
guy.
make any sense though? He is such a random guy.
no, it's that guy, the Hispanic guy that's in all the Ant-Man movies. His
Oh
name-
yeah, he's like, let
yeah,
me tell you
he'll-
this story, and then all the flashbacks
like
and whatever.
he'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
pop in like,
Stan Lee.
and he'll just show. His
He's a
face and then just leave.
standee for Stan Lee.
But Stan Lee was
Oh
always
my
like some
gosh.
strange. He was like a guy walking down the street. He was the postman. He was supposed to be Hugh Hefner. In
they put
Guardians
him in-
2, he was like a spaceman that was lost in
He was a
space, and-
convenience store clerk in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my
Yeah, that was
gosh!
good.
So
was that the
sweet.
last one? Was that his official last one?
I think that was, and they did a little tribute
Oh
for
my
him at the end of it.
gosh.
Oh, so sweet.
I think the
Stan.
last live one he was in Captain Marvel, in which I like that. I don't know. That was just a simple little thing. They were on the train, and he was reading a newspaper, and she flicks it down to look at him, and they just like share a collective smile, I like that.
Aw,
That was nice.
that's
Yeah,
sweet.
that was
But
nice.
yeah, please go ahead and leave your comments down below of what you thought. Are we
Leave
completely
the
wrong?
comments.
Who is wrong? KT? Definitely KT. Tell her why she's wrong in the comments below.
No.
Nah, you can pick on us too. Brian and Ileana, pick on us. You know, we're wrong as well. For next week, Nintendo Direct news. We've got a lot to be talking about that. Just a lot of news. You know, Nintendo Directs are apparently back after so many, you know, how many years has it been?
2. It's been 2, actually.
So it's been a long time since we had one, and they just dropped a 50-minute Nintendo Direct on us today. So we'll be going over that in next week.
Yay!
Thank you guys for listening.
Yay!
We will see you all in next week's video.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.